72 degrees and sunny on a beautiful day for baseball here in Annapolis as we welcome you out to Max Bishop Stadium for Game 2 of the Patriot League Championship Series between the top-seeded Navy Midshipmen and the number 2-seeded Army Black Knights. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ben Gordon Goldstein, and yesterday Army took Game 1 of the Championship Series by a score of 8-5. Tyler Giovinco got the win. 7 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits. Noah Song's second straight week that the ace of the Navy staff dropped Game 1 in the playoff series. He went 7 innings, allowed 4 runs on 7 hits. It was really Anthony Jaquin that was the offensive star in the game for Army, tied 2-2. Top of the 6th inning, Jaquin led off with a solo home run, put Army in front for good in the ballgame as Jaquin ended up going 3 for 4 with 3 runs batted in and the home run for the freshman. That 3, 4, 5 spots in the lineup for Army, they combined to have 7 of the 11 hits for Army. They knocked in 7 of the 8 runs, and they also scored 5 runs. So the 3, 4, 5 of White, Jaquin, and Martin, offensive stars for Army, led by Jaquin. And Army ended up pushing the lead out to 8-2 entering the bottom of the 9th inning. They scored 2 in the top of the 8th, 3 in the top of the 9th inning. And then Navy did threaten in the bottom half of the 9th inning. They pushed 3 runs across, aided by some walks and a couple errors as well. Christian Hodge actually came to the plate as the tie-in run, but flied out to center field, and that ended the ball game. So Army is now 1 win away from their first Patriot League Championship since 2013. For the second straight week, Navy on the brink of elimination. Last week they dropped Game 1 to Holy Cross before coming back to win Games 2 and 3 to get themselves into the championship series, and so now Navy has to try to do the same here this afternoon. Game 1 scheduled for just a couple minutes from now, a little bit after noon, and if necessary, Game 2 about 30 minutes afterwards. And Army and Navy trying to decide the Patriot League Championship here today. Let's get you the starting lineups for both teams. Start first with Navy. Even though the game in Annapolis, they are the designated road team here in Game 2. Leading off will be the center fielder, Logan Knowles. Zach Biggers, second baseman, bats second. Stephen Bourne is the right fielder. He hits third. In the cleanup spot will be the first baseman, Christian Hodge. Evan Lowry, left fielder, bats fifth. Hitting sixth will be the third baseman, Jacob Williamson. Liam Lowry, DH, bats seventh. Hitting eighth will be the catcher, Alex Smith. And batting ninth will be the shortstop, Michael Kuritz. On the other side for Army, their lineup as well remains unchanged from yesterday. Leading off will be the center fielder, Jacob Pertebes. John Rosoff, Patriot League Player of the Year in 2018. Bats second. Navy didn't give him much of an opportunity to swing the bat yesterday. He walked 3 times. Batting third will be the second baseman, Josh White. Anthony Jaquin hit the go-ahead home run in the 6th inning yesterday, is in the cleanup spot. Trey Martin, the shortstop, bats fifth. Hitting sixth will be the DH, Matt Hudgens. Drake Titus, the right fielder, bats seventh. Hitting eighth will be John McKenna, the first baseman. And batting ninth will be the left fielder, Anthony Crompton. Pitching matchup today, Sean. Cam Hoot goes for Navy. He threw 8 1/3 shutout innings in an elimination game last week against Holy Cross. And on the other side, Matt Ball, who's begun to throw his warm-up pitches. The senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, will get the start here in Game 2 for Army. He got the start in Game 3 last week against Bucknell. That decisive game with the series tied 1-1. He went 7 innings, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, 9 strikeouts. Did not walk anybody and allowed 7 hits. He allowed 2 of his 3 runs in the 8th inning. Allowed the first 2 batters of that 8th inning to reach, and then he exited. Both ended up scoring, one of them unearned. So through the first 7 innings of that game, had only allowed 1 run, and again struck out 9 batters in that ball game. So he pitched them into the Patriot League Championship Series last week, and now trying to pitch them back into the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2013. You look at the numbers for the senior ball overall on the season. This will be his 13th start of the season, 15th appearance overall, 7-2 with a 3.27 earned run average, 71 2/3 innings of work, and a very good strikeout to walk ratio. He led the team in strikeouts, 83 of them on the year, and he walked only 20 batters So he's trying to get Army the Game 2 victory and send them to the NCAA tournament. On the other side, Sean Camhoot, also a senior for Navy, just trying to get them into Game 3 like he did last week, as Camhoot threw again 8 1/3 shutout innings last week. So again, games played here in Annapolis, but by Patriot League rules, Game 2, Army is the home team, Navy is the road team, so Logan Knowles will stand in to lead this one off. Matt Ball ready to go to work here in Game 2 of the championship series. Again, this series was scheduled to begin on Friday. It was rained out then, rained out on Saturday, finally played Game 1 yesterday, and now underway here in Game 2 as Ball delivers a first pitch strike. 12:07 here on the East Coast, and we are underway between Army and Navy in Game 2 of the Patriot League Championship Series. 1 delivery now to Knowles. It's taken for a ball, and the count's 1-1. Knowles, 2 for 4 yesterday, hit the 2-run home run in the bottom half of the 5th inning. His first over-the-fence home run of his career, 3rd overall. The other 2 inside the Parkers. Pitch tried to check. It's called a strike anyway, and the count's 1-2 strikes. So he was responsible for the only Navy runs until the bottom half of the 9th inning, when Navy scored 3 runs and had the tying run at the plate. But Hodge flied out to center. Pitch a little outside. It's evened up at 2-2 strikes. Knowles' .291 batting average, now a home run and 28 runs batted in this season. The 2-2 pitch, chopper left side of the infield, shortstop Martin is there. He'll fire across, and Knowles is retired for the first out here in the top half of the 1st inning. Set up the defense for Army. It's unchanged from the start of the game yesterday. Anthony Crompton's in left field, Jacob Hurtubise is the center fielder, and Drake Titus in right field. The infield, Anthony Jaquin, freshman, over at 3rd. Trey Martin is the shortstop. Josh White plays 2nd. John McKenna over at 1st, and John Rosoff catches Matt Ball, who's got 1 out here on the top of the 1st, and Zach Biggers comes to the plate, swinging away first pitch and fouls it off to the right side. Biggers 1 for 4 with an RBI yesterday. That RBI came in the bottom of the 9th inning. RBI double for him. Just sliced one down the right field line. And the 0-1 pitch jammed him in a grounder. That'll go back through the middle for a base hit. The shortstop Martin was playing way over on the left side of the infield, so that one sneaks by. And Biggers has the first hit of the ball game. It's a 1-out single, and Stephen Bourne will come to the plate. Martin was way over towards 3rd, so there was a big hole up the middle, and now where Martin is playing was where the ball was hit, as Stephen Bourne stands in, a left-handed batter, and the first pitch is a called strike. The count is 0-1. Biggers, entering his final at-bat yesterday, was just 2 for 16 in the Patriot League playoffs, but now has recorded hits in his last 2 trips to the plate, as that one's fouled off. And they count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Bourne. So Biggers is aboard for Bourne. Went 2 for 5 yesterday. He's hitting .321 on the year, no home runs. 43 runs batted in. Pitch down low, and it's ball and 2 strikes. Bourne ended up tying for 2nd in the Patriot League in runs batted in, those 43 runs batted in, tied with John Rosoff, everybody behind Jacob Williamson, who, despite his struggles throughout the year, still knocked in quite a few runs, and many of them early on in the season. It's the 1-2 pitch inside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Bourne. Bourne, the senior out of Stratford, Pennsylvania. Played in 34 games as a freshman, and then has started pretty much every single game over the last 3 seasons. Starting every year this year. So runner going, pitch is taken inside, throw down to 2nd is high into the shortstop side of the bag. So Biggers, rare stolen base for him, and he's into scoring position. Just his 3rd stolen base of the season. Pitch did miss for a ball, so the count's now 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Bourne. Did see Rosoff throw out Logan Knowles trying to swipe second yesterday, but Biggers gets the steal here in the 1st, and now the payoff pitch, swinging a grounder off the mound, kicks to second. White has it and throws to 1st. In time to get Bourne. Biggers over to 3rd on the play. Now with 2 away, Christian Hodge will come to the plate. So Hodge had the opportunity in the bottom half of the 9th inning last night after Navy had already pushed across 3 runs in the inning. Hodge, who has hit 3 home runs against Army this season, came up with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Trailing by 3, he was the tying run and flied out to center field to end the ball game. First pitch to him here is down and away, and the count's 1-0. Play a bit of a pull defense on him in the infield. Got the second baseman, White, just to the second base side, almost playing directly behind second base. First baseman way off the bag, and then the shortstop, Martin, is pulled way over as well. And the pitch is swung on and missed, and the count's ball and a strike. Hodge went 1 for 4 yesterday, again flied out to end the ball game. Ended up .256 batting average this season, 5 home runs, 34 runs batted in. And the pitch is down and away, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, 3 of those 5 home runs happened during a 3-game series at Army. Well, 2 of them at Fenway Park, and then the last one at Army. It's part of a 3-game series in April. Now the 2-1 delivery, down and away, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Ball, only 20 walks in 71 2/3 innings this season. He struck out 83. As he deals the 3-1 pitch, it's ripped foul down the left side, and count runs full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Interesting thing for Ball is that has the good command, great strikeout to walk ratio, 83-20, but did lead the league in hit batters this year. He's hit 12 batters with pitches this season, so good command, but likes to work inside. And now the payoff pitch to Hodge is outside, ball 4. Army started going to the dugout. It was close. Hodge kind of froze there at the plate. Got the ball 4 call, so the inning's still alive, and runners at the corners now. And Evan Lowry will come to the plate. Lowry, first pitch swing, grounds it to first. McKenna, a nice scoop on the backhand, and will take it to the bag himself for the final out of the inning. Really nice play by McKenna to save a run here in the top half of the first inning. No runs here in the first for Navy on 1 hit, and they strand 2 runners on base. After half an inning of play, Navy doesn't score. Army coming to bat. Go to the bottom half of the first inning. Navy put a couple of runners on in the top half of the first, but could not score. Now Army will get their first look here this afternoon at the senior Sean Kamhoot, who is ready to go in the bottom half of the first inning. Jacob Hurtubise, the center fielder, will lead things off. First pitch to him is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Hurtubise 0 for 3 yesterday. Did reach base on a walk and was caught stealing, a rare time this season that he has been caught stealing, and quickly he's behind in the count 0-2. Facing Sean Kamhoot, through 8 1/3 shutout innings last week in Game 2. Pitch reaches out and fouls it off, and it remains no balls and 2 strikes. Navy was trailing 1-0 in the Patriot League semis last week against Holy Cross. Kamhoot also pitching in Game 2, and again 8 1/3 shutout innings. Navy ended up winning that game 4-0 in 10 innings. as the pitch down and in, and the count's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch high and away, and it's evened up at 2-2. So you got Hurtubise at the top of the lineup, the huge threat to run, 38 stolen bases on the season, caught for just the 6th time yesterday. 2-2 pitch, grounds it over to first, foul, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Army, the game 1 win yesterday, 8-5. And now the 2-2 pitch is down low, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the payoff pitch line just past the first baseman Hodge and into right field for a base hit. As Hurtubise has himself a leadoff single, so the first batter of the bottom half of the first inning is aboard, and John Rosoff, the catcher, will come to the plate. Rosoff, and his hitting streak snapped yesterday. Had a 6-game hitting streak entering yesterday's action, and he reached base 3 times, 3 walks. 1 was an intentional walk, and ended up scoring a couple of runs, but went 0 for 2 in the game, and Cam Hoot now will have to keep a close eye on Hurtubise over at first base. The Patriot League Player of the Year, John Rosoff at the plate in a second throw over to first. Now the pitch is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Rosoff 0 for 2 yesterday, still the team leader in batting average, 347 batting average on the season, no home runs, and 43 runs batted in. Started all but 1 game this season. Army now playing in their 57th game of the season. Rosoff has started 56 and a 3rd throw over to first base. Hurtubise back in there standing up, and imagine Cam Hoot's going to throw over there quite a bit whenever Hurtubise is on base. Again, far and away the Patriot League leader in steals this year. So the pitch misses high and away, and it's evened up at 1-1. 38 stolen bases. Now a throw to first, and again, diving back in safely is Hurtubise. So he had 38 stolen bases, and had 21 more than anybody as he takes off, pitches a ball, throw down to second is not in time. He swipes the bag. 39th stolen base of the season now for Hurtubise. Gets himself into scoring position. Next closest couple of players had 17 stolen bases this year, so Hurtubise runs far more often than anybody and makes it far more often than anybody, and a huge threat on the base paths. And once he gets on, it's almost a double every time when he draws a walk or hits a single like he just did. So the runner in scoring position is Army, the opportunity now to take the early lead in this one with their leading RBI man at the plate. The 2-1 comes down and in, and the count's now 3-1. The other thing, ever Hurtubise on base, such a distraction for the pitchers who have to keep such a close eye on him. And you can see it here for Cam Hoot, normally a guy with very good command. He walked only 21 batters this season, and clearly the focus split between the batter and the base runner. And he's fallen behind Rosoff 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch to him, swinging a one-hopper over to second. Biggers will make the play over to first, and so a productive out there for Rosoff. He moves Hurtubise over to third base with just one out in the inning, and now this 3-4-5 in the lineup that did pretty much all the damage yesterday for Army will get an opportunity to give the Black Knights the lead in this ball game. White had 3 hits yesterday. Jaquin had 3 hits, and then Trey Martin knocked in 2 runs. So combined 3-4-5 yesterday, had 7 of the 11 hits. They knocked in 7 of the 8 runs. And now the pitch is taken for a strike, and the count's 0-1. So Navy is going to play the infield back here, at least up the middle. Michael Kuritz and Zach Biggers play back. Corner infielders out in line with the bags as that pitch misses inside, and the count's evened up at 1-1. Actually, Williamson now backing up a step behind third. First baseman Hodge is right in line with the bag over there on the dirt cutout there by first base. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Had him way out in front of an off-speed delivery, and the count's now 1-2. So that 3-for-5 game yesterday for White went 289 batting average, no home runs, and 35 runs batted in. Now the pitch, high and away with a fastball, and it's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. White, the junior out of Littleton, Colorado, one of 3 players that's played in now 57 games this year. And the 2-2 to him is a grounder through the left side for a base hit. Hurtubise will score from third, and Army takes the 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the first inning. White, the RBI single. The Black Knights needing just to win 1 game to get themselves into the NCAA tournament, have themselves the early lead. And Cam Hoot, after he threw 8 1/3 scoreless innings last week against Holy Cross, gives up a run here in the bottom of the first inning here this week. And now here's the freshman Jaquin. It's a throw over to first, and diving just back in ahead of the throw is White. Another throw over there, and that time he got him. First one was close, and then Cam Hoot threw back over there a second time, and White is picked off of first base, and that's the second out here in the first inning. So White gets the RBI single, but then gets picked off, and now the pitch here rides up and into Jaquin. It counts 1-0, and so Cam Hoot close on the first one. Would have thought White would have stuck closer to the bag after that, but instead he's picked off. The very next throw over there. Again, it's up high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Now to the batter, Jaquin. Cam Hoot's 2-0 delivery, swinging a chopper right side. First baseman Hodge has it and will step on the bag himself, and the side is retired. But not before Army takes the lead here in the first. They score a run on 2 hits. Head to the second inning, 1-0. Army leading Navy. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. So the RBI single by Josh White in the bottom of the first inning. And Army 1 game away from the NCAA tournament, now has the early lead. Matt Ball will deal with Jacob Williamson to start things here in the second, and deals a first pitch strike, and the count's 0-1. So Williamson, Liam Lowry, and Alex Smith here in the top half of the second for the Mids, who find themselves behind by a run here in the second inning. And the pitch, swing and a miss, and quickly Williamson's behind in the count, 0-2. Williamson 0-for-4 yesterday, did score a run when he reached base on an error in the 9th inning. But the offensive struggles for him in Patriot League play continue. That's a chopper, high bounce to third. Jaquin jumped up to try to knock it down and couldn't play it cleanly. It'll go as an infield single there for Williamson. He gets the fortunate hop off the cutout on the by third base. That dirt cutout there just took a funky hop on Jakeen. And Williamson is aboard. Liam Lowry will come to the plate. Wasn't going to be an easy play for Jakeen anyway over at third. Wasn't hit particularly hard, and then just took the weird hop on him, and Williamson gets the hit. The first pitch is a called strike to Lowry, and the count is 0-1. So here's Liam Lowry. He was also hitless yesterday, 0 for 3. He also reached base on an error in the ninth inning and scored a run. And now the 0-1 delivery to him is swung on and hit in the air out towards center field. Hurtaby's going back towards the track, and he'll have room to make the catch. Williamson will retreat back to first as Lowry struck it well, but to the deepest part of the ballpark. And there's one away for Alex Smith. Smith 0 for 3 yesterday. It's a throw over to first, and diving back in safely is Williamson. Smith started the year splitting some of the catching time with Christian Hodge, as Hodge would catch at least 1 or 2 games a weekend. It's a throw over to first. And again, diving back in safely is Williamson. But Smith in his first year getting significant playing time. Moved into that full-time starting role in Patriot League play as a pitch is taken for a ball, and the count's 1-0. And ended up starting 23 of the 25 Patriot League games for Navy. And now has started all 5 games in the Patriot League playoffs. It's another throw to first, and again, Williamson dives back in safely. Williamson, not really much of a base running threat, just 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts this season, but already saw Zach Biggers, who doesn't really run much either, swipe a bag. That was his 3rd of the year. Pitch, swing and a miss, and the count's evened up at 1-1. Smith did have 4 hits and an RBI last week against Holy Cross. Now the 1-1 delivery. Swing and a miss, and the count now a ball and 2 strikes here to Smith. Infield plays for 2 up the middle with the runner over at first and 1 out here in the top half of the second inning. Second baseman White very close to the bag. Now the pitch jammed him and he hits it foul, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. So you got Matt Ball getting the start here in game 2 for Army. Last week it was Daniel Burgraff who got the start. Burgraff waiting for a potential game 3 or relief appearance here in game 2 if needed. It's another toss to first, and the 3 strong starters for Army this season. Giovinco getting the game 1 victory yesterday over 7 innings of work. Pitches in the dirt, and the count's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Giovinco dueling Noah Song, who Song 2nd straight week. He gets the loss in game 1 playoff series. So Navy's had to work from behind. And now the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. First strikeout of the ball game for Ball, and he's retired 2 in a row after the leadoff infield single by Williamson. And Michael Koritz will come to the plate. So Navy yesterday had the leadoff batter reach in each of the first 4 innings of the game and did not score in any of those innings. So they've not been able to take advantage of that first batter of the inning reaching. And here, after the leadoff batter reaches, 2 in a row retired by ball, and now dealing with the number 9 hitter who dealt a first pitch ball to. The 1-0 pitch to Koritz is popped up behind the plate. Rosoff gave it a look, but it'll be out of play. The count's evened up at 1-1. Koritz 3 for 4 yesterday out of the number 9 spot in the lineup. Knocked in a run, scored a couple of runs. He reached out an infield single in the 5th when Logan Knowles hit his 2-run home run. Now the pitch to him, that's over for a strike, and it's 1-2. So the average up to 297 for him now. No home runs, 16 runs batted in. Would expect that next season with Logan Knowles and Stephen Bourne gone that Koritz could be a candidate to move towards the top of the lineup. As the pitch here is a liner down the left field line. That'll be a base hit and skid towards the wall. Heading to third is Williamson. They're going to now try to send him home. The relay from the shortstop, and he is nailed at the plate as Trey Martin throws home and Williamson out by a good 8 feet at the plate, and the side is retired. So Koritz gets the double, but Williamson thrown out at the plate, and again the side is retired. No runs for Navy here in the second inning on 2 hits, and after the runner thrown out at the plate, 1 runner left on base. Led to the bottom half of the second inning, Army leading Navy 1-0. Head to the bottom half of the second inning, 1-0. Navy still trailing Army after Jacob Williamson is thrown out at the plate on the double by Koritz. And first pitch here of the inning is lifted in the air out towards left field, sends Lowry back towards the track, but he'll have room to make the catch. And on 1 pitch, Martin is retired to begin things here in the bottom half of the second inning, and Matt Hudgens will come to the plate. So Sean Kamhoot back out for the second after giving up the RBI single in the first to Josh White. So a 1-0 game. Kamhoot gets his second start of the season against Army, as the first pitch here to Hudgens is taken for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Kamhoot, last time he faced Army, threw a 1-hit shutout over 7 innings. And the pitch is outside, and the count's evened up at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch swung on and popped him up right side of the infield. Hodge, first baseman, settles under it. He makes the catch, and 2 pretty quick outs for Kamhoot here in the second inning, and that'll bring Drake Titus to the plate. So 2 series the teams met in this year. The road team won every game. 2 games that Navy was the home team played at Camden Yards. Army won both of those, as the first pitch to Titus is taken down low for a ball. The count's 1-0. And then 3-game series where Army was the home team. 1 of them played at Fenway Park, and then 2 at Army. Navy won all 3 of those games. So the pitch fouled off, and it's evened up at 1-1. And yesterday, Army came back into Annapolis and won game 1. So the road team has won every game so far in this season series, which is now tied at 3, but Army leading the best of 3 Patriot League Championship series, 1-0 and a 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the second inning, as the pitch is a strike, and it's ball and 2 strikes here to Drake Titus. Titus 2 for 4 yesterday, had an RBI. And the pitch to him a little low, and it's evened up at 2-2. Overall, batting .300 on the year with 1 home run and 29 runs batted in. And now the 2-2 pitch lays off a ball down and away, and it runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on base here on the bottom half of the second inning. Good game in Annapolis, but Army here for game 2 is the designated home team. The payoff pitch now a liner snagged by the third baseman Williamson, and the side is retired. So Kamhut bounces back after giving up a run in the first, sets the side down in order here in the second. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on base. We'll head to the third, 1-0, Army leading Navy. Head to the top half of the third inning, 1-0, Army leading Navy. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Top of the lineup, due up for the mids here in the third. Logan Knowles will lead things off, and the first pitch is a called strike, and the count's 0-1. So the top of the second inning ended when Kuritz doubled down the left field line, and they tried to send Williamson from first base, and he got thrown out at the plate to end the inning. It's a pitch outside, and it's evened up at 1-1. Really not a very close play at the plate. Just as Williamson was kind of rounding third and heading home, Trey Martin, shortstop, had gotten the relay and was firing home, and he was out by a good 8 to 10 feet there at the plate. And so the inning came to an end. So instead of the senior Knowles having an opportunity with second and third, 2 outs, he leads things off here in the top half of the third inning. The pitch to him is hitting the air out towards right center field. Hurtubise over towards the alley is there to make the catch, and Knowles is retired. He's 0 for 2 in this game, and Zach Biggers will come to the plate. Biggers had a hit in his first at-bat as the first pitch is grounded up the mound, kicks right to short. Martin will throw to first, and Biggers is retired, so quickly 2 up and 2 down. Here for Ball in the third, and that'll bring Stephen Bourne to the plate. So second look for Matt Ball at this Navy team this year. Faced them on April the 21st and got the loss in that game. Navy swung the bats pretty well against him in that one. 5 2/3 innings. He went 5 runs, 2 of them earned, but 11 hits for this Navy lineup against him last time they faced him. And the first pitch to Bourne is swung on a one-hopper, knocked down by the shortstop. Martin picks it up and won't make a throw over to first, as Bourne scorched that one to the shortstop, who couldn't make the clean play. And so another infield single here for Navy. 4th hit of the game, and Bourne's aboard for Christian Hodge. For Ball, that game in which he faced Navy on April 21st, it was his only loss in Patriot League play, and actually the only time that Army lost the game in which he pitched in Patriot League play. It's the pitch, runner going. It's taken for a strike. Throw down to second was a one-hopper there, but it gets Bourne for the final out here in the third inning. So it didn't look like Rozoff got a lot on that throw, but he one-hopped it there, and Bourne is caught stealing. Head to the bottom half of the third inning, 1-0. Army still leading Navy. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. John McKenna will lead things off here against Sean Kamhut. Bottom half of the third, and the first pitch to him is lined out towards left. That'll be a base hit, and McKenna has himself his second hit of the series, a leadoff single here in the third. And Army, they're aggressive early on in counts. We saw Trey Martin, first pitch of the second inning, swinging away, ended up flying out to left, but they've come out here hacking early in the counts and do have themselves a 1-0 lead. And now the leadoff batter is aboard here in the third, and Anthony Crompton will come to the plate. See if Crompton is up there trying to bunt McKenna over. McKenna, not much of a lead off of first base. Crompton does square, and he bunts that one out in front of the plate. Smith picks it up. He'll just take the out over at first. McKenna down to second. Sack bunt there for Crompton. And a runner in scoring position for Army here for the top of the lineup in the bottom of the third inning. So bounced it just far enough away from the plate where Smith didn't have an opportunity to throw down to second base. So the successful sacrifice bunt, and Army was able to take advantage of their runner in scoring position in the first inning. Josh White got the RBI single to score Hurtubise, and now Hurtubise stands in with McKenna down at second base, and just one out here in the bottom half of the third inning. Kamhut out of the stretch. First pitch called strike. The count's 0-1. Hurtubise 1 for 1, singled, stole a base, scored a run in the first inning. Exactly what they're looking for out of their leadoff hitter. Pitch showing bunt, and bunts it down the third base line. This could be a tough play for Camhoot. He fields it, throws to first, and it's just in time to get Hurtubise. Nice play by Camhoot to get the runner out at first base. McKenna will move up to third, though, on the play. And there's 2 away for John Rosoff. It was a sac bunt for Hurtubise, even though it was looking more for the base hit. And so now here's Rosoff. Rosoff is hitless so far over the 2 games. 0 for 1 in this one, grounded out to second his first time up. With the runner at third and 2 outs, Camhoot is going to work out of the line there on the mound. The first pitch is a strike. The count's 0-1, so giving McKenna the opportunity to get the big walking lead off of third. So we got the third baseman, Williamson, kind of backing off the bag. 2 outs in the inning. Biggers over at second, back in the grass in right field. The 0-1 pitch a little high, and it's evened up at 1-1. Rosoff, Patriot League play, led everybody in runs batted in. He knocked in 23 runs in 25 games in PL play. As the pitch is down in the dirt, Smith can't find the ball. And the runner, McKenna, will hold. Saw it yet last week for Smith as well. He had a ball that ended up going to the backstop on a wild pitch. Couldn't find it, took a while to locate it, and a runner came all the way around from second to score on a wild pitch. And so there again, Smith a little bit trouble finding that ball that was tangled in his feet. But no damage done this time as they count 2 balls and 1 strike here to Rosoff. Camhoot delivers, and that one is scorched foul. And the count's evened up at 2-2. See why Biggers is playing so far back there at second base, as Rosoff can really hammer him, even though no home runs this season for Rosoff, but 14 doubles, couple of triples, so he's hit some extra base hits, and so that right side of the infield playing pretty far back. And now here's the 2-2 to him. It's just inside. The count runs full. Smith kind of popped up there like he thought he might get the called third strike. But instead, Rosoff stays alive. Rosoff takes his time standing back in. Camhoot ready to go to work, and now his payoff pitch, swinging a one-hopper to the middle of the infield. Biggers dives, throws to first, and it's in time to get him. What a play by the defensive player of the year in the Patriot League, Zach Biggers, to save a run and end the third inning. Biggers on the dive up the middle, throws to first, and it's just in time to get Rosoff. Head to the top half of the fourth inning after a heck of a play in the bottom of the third to keep it a 1-0 Army lead. Christian Hodge will lead things off here for Navy. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Matt Ball back out for his fourth inning of work and dealing with 4, 5, 6 here in the fourth as Hodge swings and misses, and quickly he's behind in the count 0-2. So Zach Biggers diving on a ball up the middle and makes the off-balance throw over to first base to get Rosoff for the final out of that bottom half of the third. And now the pitch fouled off, and it remains 0-2. So Biggers saves the run there in the bottom of the third, so still a 1-0 game. Hodge, Lowry, and Williamson here top half of the fourth inning. Now the pitch, the grounder right to first. McKenna had him played perfectly, and he'll take it to the bag himself. And Hodge is retired to start things off here in the fourth. That'll bring up Evan Lowry. So Navy's had their opportunities so far in this game. Had the runner at second base with one out in the first, and also had first and third 2 outs in that inning. Were not able to score that in the second inning. Jacob Williamson thrown out at the plate for the final out of the second, as the first pitch to Lowry is taken outside for a ball, and the count's 1-0. And then in the third inning, Stephen Bourne caught trying to steal second, so a couple of runners thrown out in this game. Now the 1-0 pitch is swung on and lined out towards right field. That'll be a base hit. Just placed it right in between McKenna and White. They're on the right side of the infield, and Lowry has himself his second hit of this series, and he's a one-out base runner. So Navy's had a base runner in every inning so far, even though ball faced the minimum in the third. Now Jacob Williamson will come to the plate. Lowry had himself a great series last weekend against Holy Cross. He was on base 8 times in the 3 games. 3 hits, 5 walks. Williamson chops that one foul. And the count's 0-1. Williamson reached on the infield single his first time up to start the second inning, as he chopped one over to Jaqueen at third, and it just took a bad hop on Jaqueen off the dirt cutout. So Williamson credited with the hit. Navy already with 5 hits in this game. So the pitch here is hitting the air out towards left center field. Hurtubee is going over. He won't get there. He'll be in the alley. Cuts it off as Lowry will go first to third. Williamson a big turnaround first, but he'll stop there. And once again, here in the fourth inning, Navy is threatening. They have runners at the corners and just one out, and Liam Lowry coming to the plate. So this may be the best scoring opportunity for Navy so far in this game. Runner at third with less than 2 outs. Catcher Rosoff will go out to the signals to the infield. Looks like they're going to play back up the middle with Martin and White at short and second. Third baseman Jaqueen is in line with the bag. First baseman holds the runner on. And Ball working out of the set, and the pitch to Lowry is a strike, and the count's 0-1. Lowry 0 for 1. He flied out to pretty deep center field his first time up. Does that again, it would be plenty deep to score Lowry from third with just 1 out here on the top of the fourth inning. So Navy their best chance so far to try to even this game up after Army struck for a run in the bottom half of the first inning. The RBI single by Josh White. There's the 0-1 delivery, swinging a chopper foul, and quickly it snowballs and 2 strikes here to Lowry. Lowry 0 for 3 yesterday. Did score a run. One of Navy's better hitters in Patriot League play, though. Hit .342 in Patriot League play for Navy. The 0-2 outside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And 4 for 13 last week against Holy Cross. Now trying to get this game evened up. Navy out hitting Army 6-3, but trailing by a run. Balls 1-2 delivery down low, blocked there by Rosoff, and it's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball came in averaging over a strikeout per inning pitched, 83 strikeouts in 71 2/3, but it's 1 K so far in this game. He sets now as 2-2. Very close with the fastball, misses for a ball, and now it's full, 3-2. So we'll see what the Navy decides to do here with runners at the corners. Got Williamson over at first, Lowry at the plate. See if they start the runner from first base with one out. Runner holds, 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Lowry slams the bat down in disgust after not being able to put the ball in play. A huge strikeout there for Ball for the second out here in the inning, and now an out away from getting out of this first and third one-out jam. So just the second strikeout of the ball game for Ball, but a huge one here in the fourth. And now Smith, who's the other strikeout victim, come to the plate. And they'll put the pull defense on, as they've been doing with Smith so far in this series. 3 infielders on the left side, with just the first baseman holding the runner on the right side of the infield. So the pitch is a called strike, and the count's 0-1. All Smith would have to do is tap one to the right side of the infield, and it would bring home a run. Here's the 0-1 pitch now. Swing and a miss, and quickly he's behind in the count 0-2, but struck out in his first at-bat, and now behind in the count 0-2, and Ball, opportunity for back-to-back strikeouts to get out of this jam here in the fourth. Righty sets the 0-2 outside. Lowry over at third, Williamson at first. Each of them singled with one out before Liam Lowry struck out. Now a throw to first. There's the 1-2 delivery now, fouls it off his leg, and it remains a ball and 2 strikes. Army up 1-0 here in the Patriot League Championship Series. And leading 1-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. Navy has threatened in 3 of their 4 at-bats, though, against Matt Ball. He's trying to get out of a jam once more here in the fourth. The pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out in a big fist pump there for Ball, and the side is retired. 3 strikeouts now for Ball, back-to-back Ks to end things here in the fourth. No runs on 2 hits and 2 runners left on base. Led to the bottom half of the fourth inning, 1-0, Army leading Navy. Go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It's a 1-0 Army lead over Navy. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Matt Ball gets out of a first and third one-out jam there in the top half of the fourth to keep Navy scoreless through 4. Now Sean Camhoot delivers his first pitch at the bottom of the fourth, and it's taken for a ball down and away. So Camhoot allowed the 1 run in the first, came back with a 1-2-3 inning in the second, and then pitched the scoreless third inning. Now deals with 3, 4, 5 in the lineup here in the fourth. Josh White leads it off and takes a strike on the off-speed delivery, and it's evened up at 1-1. So White had an RBI single his first time up, knocking the lone run of the game. Then he got picked off a first by Camhoot. Now the pitch to him a little high on another changeup, and it's 2-1. Got White, Jaquin, and Martin. This part of the lineup did pretty much all the damage in yesterday's Army's 8-5 Game 1 win. Now the pitch off the end of the bat loop down the right field line. Bourne will slide and make the catch. A long run for Bourne out there in right field, and he's able to get over there on a ball that was curling away from him. And that's the first out here in the fourth inning. And Anthony Jaquin will come to the plate. Nice job there by Bourne. Read it well off the bat. And takes away a base hit, so back-to-back nice plays by Navy in the field. Final out of the bottom half of the third inning was that spectacular play by Zach Biggers diving up the middle. And a first pitch ball to Jaquin, who's 0 for 1 in this game. The pitch hit foul. It's evened up at 1-1. Jaquin grounded out to first his first time up to end the first inning. Coming off that 3 for 4 game yesterday when he knocked in 3 runs and hit a home run. Pitch, swing and a miss. Chased one down and away. And now it's 1-2. Jaquin hitting his second home run of his freshman season. Patriot League Rookie of the Year. Coming through in big spots here in the tournament. This time he strikes out looking, though. First strikeout for Kamhoot on the afternoon. 2 up and 2 down here in the fourth. That'll bring up Trey Martin. So Jaquin down looking. The shortstop Martin up to the plate. 1-0 Army leading this game. Navy out hitting Army 6-3, but Army came through with the hit with the runner in scoring position in the first, and it's been the difference. First pitch swinging and a liner to left. That'll drop in for a base hit. Martin the 2-out single. Again, first pitch swinging. So McKenna first pitch swinging in the third. Pick up a single to left field, and now Trey Martin first pitch swinging. Gets a base hit here in the fourth inning. So he's aboard with 2 outs, and Matt Hudgens, the DH, will come to the plate. Kamhoot has already picked a runner off of first base. Martin 4 for 5 in stolen bases this year and a first pitch ball. And the count's 1-0. Hudgens 0 for 1. He popped out to the first baseman. Hodge his first time up.
We literally have nothing. We have 2 strikes and 2 pitches.
So toss over to first. Now another throw over there, and again back in standing up is Martin. Army team that stole 86 bases this season. Compare that to Navy, who stole only 37 bases. Swing and a miss. And the count's evened up at 1-1. So they do run quite a bit, led by Herdebees, who had 20-plus more stolen bases than anybody in the league. And Herdebees already won today and has scored the only run of the game. 1-1 pitch upstairs, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Hudgens. Now the pitch up and in again, and it's 3-1. Hudgens, the junior, Las Vegas, Nevada, at a Bishop Gorman High School there in Vegas. Athletic powerhouse, has produced quite a bit of major league talent. So recently, Joey Gallo, Joey Rickard, who plays for the Orioles. Now the 3-1 pitch is fouled off, and it's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Hudgens, from that powerhouse there in Vegas, now a 2-year starter here for Army. Played in 55 games a season ago. And this year, now playing in his 56th game of the season, 55th start. Runner will be off as the 3-2 pitch is hitting the air out towards right field. Long run in for Bourne. Biggers going out, and it's Biggers who will make the over-the-shoulder catch for the final out here in the fourth inning. So another scoreless frame for Kamhoot after giving up a run in the first. 3 straight scoreless innings. We'll head to the fifth. Still a 1-0 Army lead over Navy. Head to the fifth. Still a 1-0 Army lead over Navy. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Matt Ball back out for the fifth. The shortstop Michael Kuritz will lead things off here in the top half of the inning, and the first pitch to him down and away, and the count's 1-0. So Army scored the run in the bottom of the first inning. That's been it for either side. Despite a number of opportunities for Navy, Ball's been able to pitch himself out of some jams. The 1-0 delivery swung and popped him up out towards shallow center field. White going out. It's Herdebees, the center fielder, who calls for it. Makes the catch, and Kuritz is tired for just the second time in this series. He was 4 for 5 in the 2 games entering that at bat, but he's retired to start things off here in the fifth. Now back to the top of the lineup, and Logan Knowles will come to the plate. Got Ball now at 60 pitches in this game with 1 out in the fourth. The first pitch to Knowles is down low, and the count's 1-0. Knowles 0 for 2. Grounded out to short in the first, flied out to center in the third. The pitch lined foul on the left side. It's evened up at 1-1. Knowles, for the most part, 4-year starter. Played in 43 games as a freshman, and then last 3 years started pretty much every game for Navy. So the pitch is a strike, and he's behind in the count 1-2. Guy who came to Navy as a third baseman, played in 58 games at third, and then placing Robert Curry in center field. Spot you don't normally see a guy go from third to center as the pitch bounces up there and actually hit him there on the front foot. And so Knowles is aboard on the hit by pitch, and he's a one-out base runner. So Knowles moved to center field in the leadoff spot last year. First team all Patriot League when he batted .330, and this year playing in center and in the leadoff spot again. Got off to a slow start to this year, but turned it around in Patriot League play, and for the second straight year, first team all Patriot League. Now's aboard first base and a throw over there. He'll dive back in safely. He had 16 stolen bases a season ago. This year, down a little bit, 13 stolen bases. He was caught trying to steal second yesterday, and a second check on him. Got Zach Biggers up at the plate, who's got a hit and a stolen base in this game. See if Knowles, who it's a pretty good-sized lead off of first, tries to take off during this at-bat. First pitch to Biggers is a called strike with the runner holding. Counts 0-1. Biggers 1 for 2. Again, that single in the first inning. Got stranded at third base, though. After he stole a base, then went to third on a ground out by Bourne. Another throw over to first. And then his last time up, grounded out to the shortstop, Trey Martin, but he has made his impact in this game in the field. A tremendous diving play, ranging up the middle on the ball hit by Rosoff to end the third inning and save a run. Pitch here is lined past the third baseman and up the left field line. That'll be a base hit. Crompton will cut it off before it gets to the warning track. Knowles will get into third. Biggers follows him to second. So it'll be a double, and for the second straight inning, Navy has a runner at third with less than 2 outs. So ball got out of the first and third one-out jam in the fourth inning as he struck out Lowry and Smith back-to-back. And now here in the fifth inning, second and third with just 1 out, and got the middle of the lineup due up. And Stephen Bourne will come to the plate. So now it's Knowles at third, Biggers at second. Army infield looking to the dugout. Looks like they're going to play back here. They'll concede the tying run. Except at third, where Jaquin is in line with the bag. First pitch swinging for Bourne, and he fouls it off left side, and the count's 0-1. So Bourne, the only other senior besides Knowles in this Navy starting lineup. Got Cam Hoot, the pitcher, is also a senior, but in the batting lineup, Knowles and Bourne has come through with a number of big hits in his career. Now second and third, 1 out here in the fifth in an elimination game. The pitch is low, and it's evened up at 1-1. Last week when Navy was trailing 1-0 in the semis, it was Bourne who came through with the big hit in the 10th inning, a bases-clearing triple. Put him ahead 3-0. Here's the 1-1 pitch now. Fouled it back, and he's behind in the count 1-2. And Paul has certainly stepped up in these spots so far in this game. You look back to the fourth inning, first and third. He struck out Liam Lowry and Alex Smith back-to-back to get out of that jam unscathed. And now he's got 2 strikes here on Stephen Bourne. Ball sets. 1-2 pitch, way high and away. Rosoff has to snag that one. And it's evened up at 2-2. Bourne does not strike out much. He struck out only 16 times in 212 at-bats so far this season. At the 2 today, make it 214 at bats. Has 2 strikes on him. Ball sets, and now the pitch just got a piece of it. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a hit by pitch and then a double has set Navy up with 2nd and 3rd. And just 1 out here in the 5th inning. He's got the game tying run 90 feet away. Go ahead run in scoring position. And here's the 2-2 delivery outside, ball 3, and now it's full, 3-2. Walk, not the worst thing for ball. Would set up the force at any base and put the double play in order. With first base open right now. Payoff pitch here to Bourne, swinging a chopper foul. First baseman, they are playing back there, so that likely would have gotten a run home had it stayed fair. Getting the payoff pitch, swinging a grounder over to short. This will get the run home. Martin will field throw to first, and it's in time, but Bourne gets the job done. Knowles scores from 3rd. It's an RBI ground out. We're all tied up at a run apiece here in the top of the 5th inning. So Navy doesn't get the hit with a runner in scoring position, but the infield playing back. Bourne gets the run home. Biggers also moves over to 3rd. Now a 1-1 game here in the top half of the 5th inning. Navy, big scoring opportunities in the 4th and now the 5th innings, and does finally get that run home. Here's Christian Hodge. 2 outs now. Everybody can back up. And the pitch called a strike, and the count's 0-1. Hodge 0 for 1. He walked in the 1st, grounded out to 1st in the 4th. Now bouts with Biggers over at 3rd base. The 0-1 outside, and it's evened up at 1-1. So 1-1 now here in the top half of the 5th inning. Elimination game for Navy. Army up 1-0. Trying to get themselves back into the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2013. They went back-to-back years in 12 and 13. Have not been back since. Ball's 1-1 pitch. Jammed him and he fouled it back, and now it's 1-2. Navy won the Patriot League in 2016. They beat Holy Cross in 3 games. Get into the NCAA tournament. Senior class that has been the number 1 seed in the Patriot League tournament now 4 years in a row. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swinging a grounder right side. Second baseman White is there and throws the first, and this side is retired. So Navy gets on the board here in the 5th, ties up the ball game. They score a run on just 1 hit, and they leave 1 runner on base. Halfway home here in Annapolis, it's 1-1. Army and Navy all tied up. Game as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, 1-1, all tied up. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Sean Kamhut, the senior right-hander, back out for his 5th inning of work, facing the bottom 3rd of the Army lineup as Drake Titus will lead things off, and the first pitch way outside, and the count's 1-0. So Navy gets on the board in the top of the 5th inning. The RBI ground out by the senior Stephen Bourne scores the senior Logan Knowles. And now the 1-0 pitch is hitting the air out towards center field. Knowles will retreat and settle under, make the catch. And Kamhut has retired the leadoff batter here in the 5th inning. John McKenna will come to the plate. So Army struck first in the bottom half of the 1st inning. The RBI single by Josh White scored Hurtubise from 3rd base. And since then, Kamhut's been able to pitch 3 straight scoreless innings. Army's best chance since then was in the third when McKenna, who stands in now, singled to lead off the inning. It's a first pitch strike to him. The count's 0-1, then was bunted to second, so they had the runner at second with one out, and after he was bunted over to third, Rosoff couldn't get him home when Biggers made the tremendous diving play. Pitch here is lined past the diving Williamson and into left field, so John McKenna 2 for 2 in this ball game, and he's aboard with one out in the fifth. Anthony Crompton will come to the plate. Cam Hoot's next pitch will be his 60th of the game. That ball through 5 innings of 1-run ball, has thrown 78 pitches. Maybe with 7 hits through their 5 innings as well. First pitch to Crompton, big cut and a miss, and the count's 0-1. Crompton, the sac bunt his first time up. Move McKenna over to second base, so no official at bat for him. As Cam Hoot sets. And now the 0-1 delivery. It's a ball low, and the count's evened up at a ball and a strike. McKenna over at first base, being held on by Hodge. Now a 1-1 game. Navy scored in the top of the 5th inning. Now a runner aboard for Army here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Cam Hoot looking for that shutdown inning after Navy scored. Through 8 1/3 shutout innings last week against Holy Cross in a no decision. As the pitch, swing and a miss. And now it's 1-2. And now the 1-2 delivery, a little looper out towards center. Knowles is right there. He'll make the catch. And there's 2 away, so McKenna will stay at first. And now back to the top of the lineup, and Jacob Hurtubise, the center fielder, will come to the plate. Left-hand heavy lineup for Army, at least at the top. 3 of the first 4 batters in their starting lineup, left-handed bats with Hurtubise, Rosoff, and Jakeen. Left-handed bat standing in here. First pitch to him is down and in. The count is 1-0. Hurtubise, the 39 stolen bases now this year after a freshman season in which he stole 18 bases. The 1-0 pitch to him, again low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Maybe he's actually done a pretty good job against them in the season series. He went 0 for 3 yesterday, does have a hit today. That pitch called a strike. Hurtubise was kind of backing off the plate and thought it was in on him, but it's called a strike, and now it's 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch, that's another strike up the outside corner that time, and it's evened up at 2-2. So Hurtubise just 3 for 20 against Navy entering this game before he singled in his first at bat, stole base, and scored the lone run for Army in the first. Sac bunt last time up. That one's high and away. Now it's 3-2. So McKenna be off on the pitch here with 2 outs. Hodge will back up behind him over at first base. Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, inside, ball 4. Hurtubise draws the first walk of the game from Cam Hoot. And now the go-ahead run in scoring position. Got John Rosoff coming to the plate, and Rosoff after going 7 for 13 last weekend against Bucknell in the Patriot League semis, is 0 for 4 so far in this series. He was robbed of a hit his last time up by Biggers, who plays a good 5 feet onto the grass in right field there at second base. So he is way back at second. And was that positioning last time that enabled him the opportunity to get over to the ball that Rozoff hit. First pitch ball, and the count's 1-0. So Rozoff is 0 for 2 in this game. He was 0 for 2 yesterday, but did draw 3 walks. And they play very deep for him on the right side of the infield, with now 2 runners aboard. Go-ahead run in scoring position for Army, and the 1-0 pitch is low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. McKenna at second, Hurtubise at first. Now Cam Hoot's 2-0 pitch to him, way high, and it's 3-0. So Cam Hoot just issued his first walk of the game to Hurtubise, and now has fallen behind Rozoff. 3 balls and no strikes, and you got White waiting on deck, who has the lone RBI in this game for Army. It's the Patriot League Player of the Year, standing in right now. 3-0 delivery to him, that's a strike. And it's 3-1. Kenna, big guy over at first base. Doesn't run all that well, but you would think with 2 outs, any hit to the outfield would score him. And then Hurtubise runs extremely well over at first base. Here's the 3-1 delivery, fouled it off, and now the count's full, 3-2. And now certainly the count full and 2 outs, McKenna will be off, and now any hit would definitely score McKenna from second base if it reached the outfield. But he way back in the infield here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tie ball game 1-1 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning in Game 2 of the Patriot League Championship Series, with Army leading it 1-0. Here's the payoff pitch, swinging a grounder left side. That's a base hit. They're going to send McKenna from second. Up throwing is Lowry. His throw will go into the cutoff man. It's an RBI single for the Patriot League Player of the Year, Rozoff, and it gives Army a 2-1 lead here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So John Rozoff comes through here with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Really kind of pitching around him a lot of this series. He was robbed of 1 hit, and this time gets it through the left side of the infield. And after Navy tied it up in the top of the 5th, Army comes back, and back-to-back base runners with 2 outs here in the 5th inning, and Rozoff comes through. And now Bobby Applegate will come out and have a word with Cam Hoot. So the walk to Hurtubise comes back to hurt Cam Hoot. So the walk pushed McKenna into scoring position. And then Rozoff on a 3-2 pitch singles through the left side. And so Army has the lead back and still threatening here, with Josh White coming to the plate. The home plate umpire is going to go and break up this extended conference. Bobby Applegate, his normal slow stroll back to the dugout. And so it'll be Josh White coming to the plate. So 2 hits already here in the 5th. The most recent by Rozoff, knocking in the go-ahead run. And now here it's White trying to extend the lead. Hurtubise over at second runs extremely well. Rozoff is at first base with 2 outs. Cam Hoot trying to now just keep this a 1-run game here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So he looks back to second, and now the pitch, and it hit him. Just skimmed the jersey there of White on the very first pitch. And so White is aboard, and the bases are loaded for Anthony Jaquin. And now Army really a chance to break this one open after taking the lead back here in the bottom of the 5th. Jakeen's hitless in this game after his 3-hit, 3 RBI game yesterday. Hurtaby's at third, Rose off at second, White at first. Camhoot will work out of the wind with the bases loaded. And the pitch, swinging a ball bounced foul. The count's 0-1. Camhoot is going to work out of the wind. Hurtaby's is dangerous there at third. Potentially on any ball that gets loose by the plate. Hurtaby's with Camhoot working out of the wind should have a pretty large walking lead there from third. So he winds in, now the pitch swung on and popped him up. Third base side, Williamson shading his eyes from the sun in foul territory. Called off by Koritz, who can't get there to make the play. And second life here for Jakeen. With 2 strikes on him now.
He felt like he was going to be closer. He thought that he was I'm getting tailed to wearing one when he
So
talks.
Jakeen will stand back in here. Bases remain loaded. Now 2 strikes on the batter. Camhoot trying to get himself out of this jam here in the 5th as Army has already retaken the lead. There's the 0-2 delivery way outside. And it's 1-2.
No, I couldn't see the number. The number's covered up with the strap. I don't know what positions they play out there.
Here we go.
What?
Just a bunch of dudes and boxers. It's weird, right?
There's the 1-2 delivery. Now swinging a miss. He struck him out, and the side is retired. Just the second strikeout for Camhoot, but a big one to end the 5th inning. Army, though, does retake the lead here in the 5th. They score a run on 2 hits, and they leave them loaded. Go to the 6th inning. It's 2-1. Army leading Navy. Go-ahead RBI single by John Rosoff there in the bottom of the 5th to give Army the lead back. Evan Lowry lead things off here in the 6th. Matt Ball delivers a first pitch strike, and the count's 0-1. Lowry, Williamson, and then the older Lowry brother, Liam, due up here in the top half of the 6th inning with Army once again leading 2-1. The pitch outside, and it's evened up at 1-1. Got Matt Ball pitching here in the 6th inning now at 80 pitches. The 1-1 offering here is a little low. Goes to 2-1. Ball pitched game 3 last week of the semifinals against Bucknell through 107 pitches in that game. Got the win in 7 innings. The 2-1 pitch is hitting the air out towards pretty deep right center field. Hurtaby's on the run. He slides and made the catch. What a play. There by Hurtaby's, a long way to go into the alley, and robs Evan Lowry of extra bases here to begin things here in the 6th inning. And there's one away for Jacob Williamson. Ball was struck well and looked like it was going to be 2 for Lowry off the bat, but Hurtaby's runs it down. We've seen some pretty good defense from both sides so far in this game. And now Jacob Williamson will come to the plate. Williamson's got a pair of hits so far in this one. The first pitch to him inside. It's 1-1. Reached on the infield single in the 2nd on a ball that took a funny hop on Jakeen. And then singled in the 4th inning to set up 1st and 3rd for Navy with 1 out. So he swings and misses at that one. It's evened up at 1-1, but Navy could not come through in the 4th when they had 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Well, the pitch to him fouled it off, and it's 1-2. This ball got back-to-back strikeouts on Liam Lowry and Alex Smith in that 4th inning. The Navy did finally come through in the 5th. The RBI ground out by Stephen Bourne. Get their first run of the game across. There's the 1-2 pitch to him. It's a ball, and the count's evened up at 2-2. Ball working here with now 1 out in the top half of the 6th inning and holding the lead 2-1, and now the pitch way outside. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Williamson, one of a couple of Louisville Slugger freshman All-Americans a season ago for Navy. He and Zach Biggers getting an award. They're their strong freshman years, and the 3-2 pitch just tapped that one foul at the plate, and it remains full 3-2. That had 296 last year's freshman, 5 home runs, 25 runs batted in. He was over 300 most of his freshman year before a late season slump dropped him below. Now the pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. And with the high heater there, 4 strikeouts now for Ball, who's retired the first 2 in the 6th. And Liam Lowry will come to the plate. Ball's first pitch to Lowry outside, and counts 1-0. Lowry 0 for 2, flat out to center in the 2nd. He struck out in the 4th. It's a big spot in that game when he struck out. It was 1st and 3rd, 1 out. And he's not able to put the ball in play to get the run home from 3rd base. This pitch misses for a ball, and the count's 2-0. Did strike it well in the 2nd inning, flat out to pretty deep center field. Now here's the 2-0 pitch to him, swings through it, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. The older brother of Evan Lowry. Now the pitch to him is hitting the air out towards left field. It'll send Crompton heading back to the warning track. That's going to be over his head and over the wall. It's a home run the other way for Liam Lowry, and just like that, this ball game is tied up at 2 apiece here in the 6th. Lowry with his 3rd home run of the season. And it ties the ball game up. Looked like Ball was going to have himself an easy inning here in the 6th after Army had taken the lead in the bottom half of the 5th inning, but Liam Lowry, wind blowing out towards left field, and just takes it the other way, and a line drive home run. And it ties the game up at 2 apiece. Here's Smith. First pitch strike to him, and the count's 0-1. Smith 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts so far in this one against Ball. Now the pitch. Breaking ball misses inside, and it's evened up at 1-1. Army continues with the pull defense here on Smith. 3 infielders on the left side of the infield. Now the 1-1 pitch to him, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. And at this point, Smith has struggled to even make contact against Ball in this game. Struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, and now 2 strikes on him here in the 6th. And the pitch, a little low, and it's evened up at 2-2. So Navy tied it up in the 5th inning, and Army retook the lead in the bottom half of the frame, and Navy once again retying it here in the top of the 6th. 2-2 pitch, swung on and hit in the air down the left field line. Crompton giving chase. It's going to be a fair ball. Crompton will play it on 1 hop. Smith trying for 2. He'll get in there with the feet for a slide. And after striking out in his first 2 at-bats of this game, Smith, the 2-out double here in the 6th, and Navy has the go-ahead run in scoring position for Michael Kuritz. Kuritz 1 for 2 in this game. Navy now has 4 extra base hits. And Jim Foster is going to come out and have a word have a word here with his pitcher Ball, as Jacob Cart has begun throwing out there in the bullpen. So Cart pitch yesterday, came in and allowed a couple of base hits in the ninth inning, did not retire anybody. And then Logan Smith had to come on and get the final out of the ball game. So things have been a little bit dicey with leads for Army late in ball games. Right now it's a tie game after the 2-out solo home run by Liam Lowry. And now Navy once again has the go-ahead run in scoring position. Had a chance in the 5th inning. Not able to get him home after tying it up, and now once again here in the 6th inning. Smith is at second. Koritz has already got 4 hits in 5 at-bats in this series, is at the plate. Ball to set, first pitch to Koritz. That's a strike. Count 0-1. So the double in the second for Koritz on a ball in which Jacob Williamson got thrown out at the plate trying to score from first base. And last time up, flat out to center. Now bats again here in the 6th inning with a runner in scoring position. Here's the 0-1 pitch outside, and it's evened up at 1-1. So all tied up here in the top of the 6th inning. Must-win game for Navy. Army, if they win, headed back to the NCAA tournament. 1-1 delivery outside, and it's 2-1. Ball is now up over 100 pitches in this game. That last one was pitch number 101 for him. So nearing the end of the line for the Army starter here in a 2-2 game, trying to keep it tied. Pitch, that's a strike, just caught the outside corner, and it's evened up at 2-2. And another guy in this Navy lineup, extremely difficult to strike out. Koritz, only 9 strikeouts this season in 150 at-bats. But a 2-ball, 2-strike count on him with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Swung on and looped down the right field line. Ranging over is Titus, but it's a foul ball. Looked dangerous off the bat. But drops harmlessly foul. Everybody will head back, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just reached out there, and a little pop-up down the right field line. Titus is playing him kind of around the other way. Now the 2-2 offering down and away. And it's full, 3-2. Action still going in the Army bullpen one way or another. This could end up being the last batter of the ball game for Ball. Here's his payoff pitch, swinging a ball grounded foul. And it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Long at bat here from Koritz with 2 outs and a runner down at second base. Game all tied up at 2 apiece. So sophomore stands back in. It's the senior Ball. Payoff pitch again, swinging a liner through the left side for a base hit. They're going to try to send Smith from second base. The throw home is up the line. It's a 2-out go-ahead single for Koritz, and Navy has their first lead of the game. It's 3-2 here in the top half of the 6th inning. 3 straight batters reach with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. As Ball had retired 2 in a row to begin the inning. Then Lowry, the 2-out home run. Smith doubles. Koritz, the RBI single. And Navy all of a sudden has retaken the lead here in this game. And that is going to be all for Matt Ball in this game. Foster heads out to the mound to make the pitching change. 3-2. Navy leads it. Get you the details of the change after this.
I said I let off with the relationship too.
These last 4 innings are going to take so long. It's just a fact. So Jacob Cart, the new pitcher, into the ball game for Army, as Navy is struck for 2 runs here in the top half of the 6th inning, and have themselves their first lead of this game, 3-2. Kuritsu with the go-ahead RBI singles at first, and a toss over there. Dives back in safely, and Logan Knowles will be the first one. Faced Cart today, who also pitched yesterday. Faced just 2 batters and gave up a couple of hits in the bottom of the 9th, and then was taken out of the ball game. Threw only 7 pitches yesterday, so into the game for the second straight day. And delivers his first pitch to Knowles. It's a ball down low, and the count's 1-0. Numbers on Cart, this is his 19th appearance of the season, 17th relief appearance, 0-2 with a 3.60 earned run average, 35 innings of work. He has struck out 28 and walked 11. And now the 1-0 pitched is a called strike, and it's evened up at 1-1. So Ball started this inning by retiring 2 in a row. So he had 2 outs and nobody on base, and then Liam Lowry just hit one the other way over the left field wall. Just barely got out to tie the game. It's another toss to first. Then Smith, the 2-out double, and Michael Kuritz, who has been unstoppable in this series. Hit the go-ahead RBI single, pitches outside, and it's 2-1. So Kuritz, 2 hits today. He went 3 for 4 yesterday. So he's now 5 for 7 with 2 runs batted in so far in this series. So he stands over at first, and Cart is trying to keep it a 1-run game now. 2-1 pitch to Knowles, called strike. Knowles was hit by a pitch his last time up and then scored on the Stephen Bourne ground out. Now here's the 2-2 pitch to him. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the side is retired. So Cart comes in and gets the job done. Strikes out the final batter here in the 6th inning. But not before Navy takes the lead here in the inning. They score 2 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 1 runner on base. So at the bottom half of the 6th inning, Army trails for the first time this afternoon. 3-2. Navy leads it. Go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, 3-2, Navy leading Army. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Sean Kamhoot back out here in the 6th and deals a first pitch strike, and the count is 0-1. Got Trey Martin leading things off, then Matt Hudgens and Drake Titus here for Army, trailing for the first time in this game, and it'll be a leadoff single for Martin as he drops that one into left field for his 2nd hit of the ball game. So Navy taking the lead, 2 runs in the top half of the 6th inning. Now the leadoff batter is aboard for Army here in the bottom half of the 6th. It's Kamhoot. 5 innings, 2 runs on now 7 hits. He's at 82 pitches in this game. So last week he threw the 8 1/3 shutout innings. Wouldn't expect that he'd be able to go as deep into this game as he did last week. And now Matt Hudgens will come to the plate. Tosses over to first base, and the runner dives back in safely. So Hudgens' struggles at the plate continue. Now 0 for his last 20, trying to get the bunt down here and pushes it foul. Counts 0 for 1. 0 for 3 yesterday for Hudgens, couple of pop-ups today. So 0 for 5 in this series to his hitless total, making it 20 straight at-bats for him. Now just trying to move that game-tying run into scoring position with Martin over at first base. Bunts at it again and bunts that one foul right at the plate. So now 2 strikes on him. Sack bunts for him on the season. We'll see if they keep it on here with 2 strikes. Williamson over at third, still playing in. Hodge holds the runner on at first, does square and pulls back on a ball outside. And now it's 1-2. So Martin with his second hit of the game, leading things off here in the 6th inning. Now a toss over there, and he gets back in standing up. Cam Hoot did pick a runner off earlier in this game. It was Josh White from first in the 1st inning. Now the 1-2 pitch not showing bunt. It's a called 3rd strike. Big strikeout there for Cam Hoot. Make it 0 for his last 21 for Hudgens, who is not able to get the bunt down. Runner stays over at first base, and Drake Titus will come to the plate. 3 runs on 10 hits and no errors for Navy. 2 runs on 7 hits and no errors for Army. So Army had led this game to first. They scored in the bottom of the 1st inning. Titus shows bunt and pulls back. Titus 0 for 2 in this game. Lined out to third in the 2nd. He flied out to center his last time up. But Army scoring in the bottom of the 1st inning on the Josh White RBI single. They led until Navy tied it up in the 5th. The RBI ground out by Bourne. As the pitch here is hitting the air out towards left field. Lowry going back, and he'll make the catch. Martin, who was running on the pitch, will jog back to first base, and Cam Hoot's retired 2 in a row here in the 6th after allowing the leadoff single to Martin. And John McKenna will come to the plate. Army retook the lead in the bottom of the 5th. John Rosoff 2-out RBI single. And then Navy scoring 2 runs in the top of the 6th, both with 2 outs. Now a throw over to first, and the ball gets past Hodge and rolls up the right field line. Martin will stop at second. Be a throwing error there on the pitcher Cam Hoot, so now a runner in scoring position, and Bobby Applegate's going to go out and have a word here with Cam Hoot. He's got McKenna up at the plate, who's 2 for 2 in this game. And now batting with the game-tying run in scoring position. In the 5th inning, Rosoff came through with 2 outs to give Army the lead back. And Applegate the conference here with Cam Hoot, and that looks like it's going to be all for Cam Hoot in this game. So originally looked like they were going to give him the opportunity to face McKenna for the 3rd time, but now with the runner in scoring position, Navy's going to go right to the pen here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So we have a pitching change. Runner at second, 2 outs, 3-2. Navy leading Army. We'll get to the details of the change after this. So the new pitcher into the game is the freshman Jared Lyons, who enters his 19th game of the season and trying to hold that 3-2 Navy advantage with the runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, John McKenna, 2 hits already off Cam Hoot, so they bring in the freshman, face him here, and try to hold the lead. First pitch strike to him. It counts 0-1. Lyons 5-1, 2.61 ERA on the season. 41 1/3 innings of work. He has struck out 52 and walked 14. So on to try to get the final out of the 6th. The pitch, swing and a miss. And quickly it's 0-2 here to McKenna. Led the conference in strikeouts this season. 67 of them now on the year, and that pitch grounded towards the middle of the infield. Koritz ranging up the middle, low throw, but scooped out by Hodge, and the side is retired. So Lyons comes in and gets the job done, gets McKenna to ground out. Again, the side retired, and Navy preserving the lead. No runs in the inning on one hit. There was one error, and one man left on base. Led to the seventh, 3-2, Navy leading Army.
The Patriot League is working with Geico to save you money. Tell Geico you are an alum of the Patriot League School and see how much more you can save on Geico Auto Insurance. Go to geico.com to find out more. Fans, you can purchase Patriot League merchandise and championship apparel at the Patriot League online store. In addition, every Patriot League school's merchandise is also available online. Visit patriotleaguestore.com and shop today.
Watch the rest of the championship on Patriot League together. So people here, I don't think are gonna run home and be like, I'm gonna go home.
Man, if they have to go somewhere after game one, they might.
Maybe that's a good read for game two, if there is a game two. Go home. Send crack a cold one. Say Nick sent you.
Go to the seventh, 3-2, Navy leading Army. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Jacob Cart back out for his first full inning of relief work here in the seventh. He got the final out of the sixth. Zach Biggers will lead it off in the first pitch, swing and a miss. The count's 0-1. Biggers, Bourne, Hodge here in the seventh inning for Navy. So they hold a 3-2 advantage on Army after scoring 2 runs in the top of the sixth inning to take the lead. Now the 0-1 outside, and it's evened up at 1-1. Biggers 2 for 3 in this game. Singled and stole a base in the first. He doubled in the fifth. Helps set up the first run of the game for Navy. Also grounded out in the third. 1-1. Called strike, caught the outside corner, and it's 1-2. So both starting pitchers out of this ball game. Both last 5 2/3 innings. Cam Hoop threw only 88 pitches, 2 runs on 7 hits, is in line for the win. Matt Ball in line for the loss as he gives up double-digit hits to Navy once again. Pitch fouled off, and it's 1-2. Second straight outing for Ball against Navy, which he has given up double-digit hits. Gave up 11 hits against Navy back on April 21st. Now gives up 10 hits here today. 1-2 pitch, swinging a grounder left side, played on a backhand by Martin. Long throw across on a hop. Can't be scooped by McKenna. And it's an infield single there for Biggers, his third hit of the ball game, rather, and he's the leadoff batter. Reach here in the seventh as Stephen Bourne will come to the plate. So 3 hits now for Biggers. After a hit yesterday, so having himself a nice championship series after some struggles in the semis. And now here's the senior Bourne, tossed to first, diving back in safely is Biggers. Bourne knocked in the first run of the game for Navy back in the 5th inning. RBI ground out with runners at second and third that scored Knowles, and at that time tied the game up at 1-1. First pitch, Bourne showing bunt, and a fastball comes over the inside corner as he pulled back on it. And it's a called strike, and it's 0-1. So he's 1 for 3 in the game with an RBI. Reached on an infield single in the 3rd inning and was caught trying to steal second. Here's the 0-1, down and in. It's evened up at 1-1. The third baseman, Jaquin, playing in on the grass in case Bourne does try to bunt, showed it on the first pitch, didn't show it there. And McKenna over at first holding the runner on. Throw over there once again. Biggers, who does have a steal in this game, dives back in safely. So Biggers 3 hits. His double in the 5th moved Knowles to 3rd with less than 2 outs, and eventually Knowles would score. And also great diving play on Rosoff's ball. Pitch just inside, and it's 2-1. Throw to first. Once again, diving back in safely is Biggers. Bourne, another guy in this Navy team that got off to a slow start. Both he and Knowles got off to slow starts to their senior seasons, but rebounded in a big way in Patriot League plays. Pitch here off the end of the bat out towards left field. Crompton right there. He'll make the catch, and Bourne is retired. That'll bring Christian Hodge to the plate. Cart's first pitch to Hodge, over for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Hodge 0 for 2. A couple of groundouts. He did draw a walk in the first. It's been pretty quiet so far in this series after the huge series against the Army the last time they played. A 1 pitch, a little high, and it's 1-1. 1 for 4 yesterday. Came to the plate with the representing the tying run in the bottom of the 9th inning and flied out to center field. Navy was trying to stage a huge 6-run rally there and got halfway there. Pitch misses low, and it's 2-1. So 8-5, Army won game 1 yesterday, but Navy has the 3-2 lead here in the top half of the 7th inning. And Navy looking to their bullpen to try to record the final 10 outs of this game. Lions got the first one to end the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's evened up at 2-2. Sets 2-2. Called third strike looking. Hodge is rung up. Second strikeout for Cart, who struck out Knowles then the 6th. And after Biggers reached on the infield single to start the inning, Cart's retired 2 in a row. And now Evan Lowry will come to the plate. Navy did all their damage in the 6th inning to take the lead with 2 outs. 2-out home run by Lowry, then a double by Smith, and the RBI single by Kuritz. 3 in a row reaching with 2 outs. Give Navy the lead as that ball dropped by McKenna on the pickoff attempt at first. Army also scored their most recent run of this game in the 5th inning. 2-out RBI single by Rosoff. Pitch to Lowry, hit in the air, out towards right field. Titus, though, is there, and he makes the catch, and the side is retired. So Cart allows the leadoff single, but 3 in a row retired after that. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 runner left on base. Stretch time here at Max Bishop Stadium. It's 3-2, Navy leading Army. 3-2, Navy leading Army as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Ben Gordon-Goldstein back with you. Jared Lyons got the final out of the 6th inning to strand a runner in scoring position. Now we'll pitch once more here in the 7th. He'll face 9-1-2 in the Army lineup, trying to hold on to that 1-run lead. First pitch to leadoff batter here in the inning, Anthony Crompton, is taken for a strike. The count's 0-1. Crompton, Hurtubise, Rosoff here for Army. So they try to rally. pitch a little low, and it's evened up at 1-1. You got the freshman Lines, second team all Patriot League relief pitcher this year. And last week against Holy Cross, he did throw an inning and 2/3 of scoreless ball. It's the pitch inside, and it hit him. So he hits the leadoff batter with a pitch here in the 7th inning. And that tying run is on base, and Jacob Hurtubise will come to the plate. Hurtubise has been on base a couple of times in this game. Officially, he's just 1 for 1. Singled and scored a run, also stole a base in the first. Sack bunt for him in the 3rd, and he drew a walk in the 5th. And we'll see if he's up there trying to bunt that tying run into scoring position as he does square, pulls back on a ball up high. And the count's 1-0. And you got leading RBI man on the team, John Rosoff, waiting on deck, and then a 3-4-5 that's been pretty dangerous for Army. So trying to move Crumpton into scoring position and then take your chances with Rosoff and White for Army. Hurtubise squares and pulls back, another ball, and the count's 2-0. And so we got the speedy Hurtubise, so if he puts down a good bunt, could have a chance to beat it out as well. Corner infielders Williamson and Hodge crashing hard here, so be up to Biggers to cover first base. Now the 2-0, once again he squares it again, pulls back, and that misses for a ball. And now it's 3-0, and Hurtubise may square here, but could potentially be taking. Lines had trouble with his command last week when he faced Holy Cross. He needed 41 pitches to throw an inning and 2/3. Didn't allow any hits last week, but walked 2 and threw a wild pitch. Now the 3-0 pulls back, not close there, ball 4. And instead of putting the bunt down, Hurtubise draws the walk, and now you got 2 runners aboard. Tying run is in scoring position, and the speedy Hurtubise is aboard at first, and John Rosoff will come to the plate. So Rosoff came through in the 5th inning with his first hit of the series. A senior out of Durham, North Carolina, and Bobby Applegate's going to make the walk to the mound to have a word here with Lines. Navy used their other top reliever, Colin Brady, yesterday, and he struggled out of the pen. Allowed an inherited runner to score and one of his own, an inning of work. And Navy bullpen giving up 5 runs over the final 2 innings of yesterday's game. 2 in the 8th, 3 in the 9th. And so even though Navy scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the 9th inning yesterday, still lost 8-5. And now the first 2 batters of the 7th inning have reached base here for Army, as John Rosoff will come to the plate. So Crumpton hit by a pitch. Hurtubise trying to get a sack bunt down, walks on 4 pitches. And now here's John Rosoff. Rosoff, the 2-out RBI single in the 5th. Lined one through the left side of the infield, and now has an opportunity to either tie this game, or if he puts one in the gap, you would certainly think Hurtubise would have the opportunity come all the way around. Corner infielders playing in. We'll see. They asked Rosoff to bunt. Wouldn't think so, but they do show bunt on the first pitch, and it's a called strike. And the count's 0-1. Rosoff, Patriot League Player of the Year this year. Coming into this weekend, the highest batting average in the Patriot League. Tied for 2nd in runs batted in. 2nd in hits, top 10 in doubles as well. Showed bunt on that first pitch. We'll see what he's doing here. Lines will look back to second.
They need to nominate one person to be in charge. Who's like smart about that kind of stuff.
They're brainwashed for a year to not be in charge. They're numbered. Yes sir, no sir. You are right. They're not allowed to think.
It would show really good leadership skills if one of them stepped up and was like, we need to.
Lines. 0-1 pitch taken for a strike, and quickly he gets ahead of Rosoff. 0-2. Rosoff 3 walks yesterday, scored 2 runs. Today he's 1 for 3. First 2 at bats, a couple of groundouts to Biggers. The second one looked like a sure base hit that would have scored a run. Instead, Biggers made a diving stop on it and off balance, accurate throw to first to get him. Now the 0-2 pitch, just a little low. It's 1-2. Breaking ball from Lines. Started outside, might have hooked around the plate as well. Lines 1-2 offering, swinging a liner over the head of the shortstop into left center field for a base hit. Crumpton around third. He will score. Hurtaby's into third. And for the second straight at bat, John Rosoff comes through. He ties this one up at 3 apiece, and still runners at the corners with nobody out. Rosoff, the 2-out RBI single in the 5th to give Army the lead, and now here in the 7th, the RBI single to tie it up. Hurtaby's went first to third there as well. And now the go-ahead run is 90 feet away with nobody out in the inning, and middle of the lineup still due up. Here's Josh White. And looks like Navy's going to play the middle of the infield back here with nobody out, so they concede the go-ahead run here to try to turn 2. And White showing bunt there on the first pitch. Pulls back, and it's a ball outside, and the count's 1-0. So Lines last week, even though he wasn't charged with a run, was not particularly sharp. And now here in this one, got the final out of the 6th inning, but has not recorded an out here in the 7th. Hit batter, walk, single. Army has tied it up and now threatening to take the lead back. Pitch fouled off. It's evened up at 1-1. Lines 1-1 offering, bunted back to the mound, runner coming home, Lines underhands at the tag, and he is out at the plate. Hurtaby's coming home. Not a particularly great bunt by White. It was back to the mound, and Lines had time to underhand it to Smith, who applied the tag, and that's the second out, or the first out rather, here in the 7th inning. Rosoff goes over to second. White into first on the fielder's choice there. So they try the squeeze play. It worked yesterday, did not work today. And that's the first out. Still the go-ahead run in scoring position. You got Jakeen up at the plate in a 3-3 game. Rosoff at second, White at first, but the score remaining tied with Hurtaby's tagged out at the plate. And the first pitch here is up high. Counts 1-0. Jakeen is 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts for him today and a ground out to first after going 3 for 4 with 3 runs batted in and a home run yesterday. He hit the go-ahead home run yesterday in the 6th. Now the 1-0 pitch, big cut and a miss, and it's evened up at 1-1, and now has an opportunity here in the 7th inning to try to give Army the lead back. Already 1 run across. still just 1 out after the runner thrown out at the plate. Pitch up high, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Jakeen and then Trey Martin waits on deck. Martin, 2 hits in this game. So 2 runs batted in yesterday. There's the 2-1 delivery. Caught the inside corner, and it's 2-2. Patriot League Rookie of the Year. Getting that huge first game of this series. Lines has 2 balls and 2 strikes on him. Now the pitch, grounded foul. And it remains 2-2. Game 2 of the Patriot League Championship Series between Army and Navy. These teams haven't met in the Patriot League tournament since 2013, when Army swept the 2-game series in the semis. 2-2 pitch. Very close. Misses for a ball. And now it's full, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Rosoff is down at second. He had the game tying RBI single. White over at first. Now the payoff pitch, runners are going, and the pitch is fouled off. Remains full, 3-2. Little surprise to him start the runners. Jakeen has struck out a fair amount this year. Got the catcher over at second base and also a left-handed batter at the plate, so a clear throwing lane for Smith. So not normally a situation where you would see teams start the runners. They did there. We'll see if they do it again here after the foul ball. 3-2 pitch. Runners are going. The pitch is lined out towards right center field. That's going to be into the alley and give Army the lead. Rosoff will score from second. Here comes White. He will score from first. It's a 2-run double for Anthony Jakeen. And just like that, Army has taken the lead back. It's 5-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So the first 3 batters of this inning all reached base. And after the squeeze play didn't work for them, the 2-run double for Jakeen, who now has 5 runs batted in this series. And that is going to be all 4 lines here this afternoon. So 3 runs across for Army here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They now hold their largest lead of the game, 2-run advantage, 5-3. We have a pitching change. We'll get to the details of the change after this. So the new pitcher into the ballgame is the freshman Santi Grossi, who comes in after Lines has allowed 3 runs here in the 7th inning. Anthony Jakeen just hit the go-ahead 2-run double, standing down at second base. So that runner still belongs to Lines, and Army has pushed across 3 runs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And regardless of what happens the rest of this frame, Army now 6 outs away from getting to the NCAA tournament. Trey Martin will be the first one to face Grossi, and the first pitch is a strike, and it counts 0-1. Grossi, 14th game of the season. He's 2-1 with a 3.80 earned run average. 21 1/3 innings of work. He has struck out 28 and walked 7. And he's got Jakeen over at second, and still only 1 out here in the inning. Pitch, swinging a grounder to short. The runner's going to try for a third, throw there, and they get him. Jakeen tries for a third. Kuritz recognizes that and goes 6-5 on the fielder's choice. Trey Martin's at first, but they do get that runner for the 2nd out of the inning. And now Matt Hudgens will come to the plate. So Hudgens trying to snap out of his now 0 for 21. Bats with 2 outs and a runner at first here. Bottom of the 7th inning, but again, Army retaking the lead with 3 runs here in the inning. And Army, even though the game played here in Annapolis, is the home team here for Game 2. So just 6 outs away. The first pitch is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. 6 outs away from their first Patriot League Championship since 2013. Army was atop the standings for much of the regular season. Got off to a really good start, including a sweep of Navy in 2 games at Camden Yards in their first regular season weekend of the year. As that one's lifted in the air out towards shallow center. Knowles is there. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. But not before Army takes the lead here in the 7th inning. They score 3 runs. They do it on just 2 hits, and they leave 1 runner on base. We'll head to the 8th, 5-3, Army leading Navy. Head to the 8th inning, 5-3, Army leading Navy after a 3-run bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch here from Jacob Cart, who remains in the ballgame after a scoreless 7th, is outside for a ball. Counts 1-0. Williamson, Liam Lowry, and Alex Smith here in the top of the 8th inning for Navy. The 1-0 delivery is one and popped up down the right field line. McKinnon, foul territory, couldn't find the ball. It's out of play anyway. And the count's evened up at 1-1. Williamson 2 for 3 in this game. Singled in the 2nd, single in the 4th. And he struck out his last time up in the 6th inning as Cart came on, got the final out of the 6th inning. The strikeout on an infield single to begin the 7th, then retired 3 in a row. Now back out here in the 8th inning. The 1-1 pitch is fouled off right side, and now it's 1-2. So 3 runs for Army in the bottom half of the 7th inning. John Rosoff ties it up with the RBI single. Anthony Jaquin, the 2-run double, and Jaquin now 5 runs batted in these 2 games here in the championship series. And now the 1-2 pitch down and away, and it's evened up at 2-2. Sets. Now the 2-2 pitch is hitting the air out towards center field. It'll send Hurtabees back towards the track, but he'll have room, and he'll make the catch for the first out here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring Liam Lowry to the plate. So back in the 6th inning, Lowry hit the 2-out solo home run, his 3rd of the season, to, at that time, tie up the ball game. That time it was 2-2. The Navy would add 1 more in the inning on an RBI single by Michael Koritz and take a 3-2 lead. Army has since scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now the pitch, swing and a miss, and the count's 0-1. Lowry 1 for 3, hit the home run in the 6th, struck out in the 4th and flied out to center. Struck it well in the 2nd as well when he flied out to center, but hit it to the deepest part of the park. Now the 0-1 pitch to him, another strike, and it's 0-2. And Cart, yesterday, faced 2 batters, gave up 2 hits. Today has looked pretty sharp. He's retired 5 of the 6 batters he faced. The only one to reach was on an infield single. Now the 0-2 pitch, down and away, and it's 1-2. Navy still out hitting Army, 11-9, but Army has come through with the bigger hits with runners in scoring position. The pitch here, a little low, and it's evened up at 2-2. Army now 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position in this game. Navy is just 1 for 7. There's the set. Now the 2-2 pitch misses inside as Lowry bends out of the way of that one, and it runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lowry hit .342 in Patriot League play this year. And now the payoff pitch to him, fouled it off, and it remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shown the ability to hit for some power, more so for doubles. He hit 16 doubles this season, among the Patriot League leaders, and actually in Patriot League play hit more doubles than anybody, 12 of them. Again, the payoff pitch down low, ball 4. Lowry draws the walk, so Navy has an opportunity with a runner on base here in the top of the 8th inning. And Alex Smith will come to the plate. And actually, it's going to be a pinch hitter here for Smith. So Smith doubled his last time up, but had struck out his first 2 at-bats, and they're going to turn to Matthew Wilcox as the pinch hitter here. Wilcox, not very many opportunities at the plate this season, but has figured out a way to get on base when he's come to the plate. First pitch to him down and away, and the count's 1-0. He's just 4 for 29 on the season, batting .138, but he's drawn 12 walks and been hit by a pitch 5 times, so he has a on-base percentage of close to .450. And Navy just trying to get that tying run on base. You got Wilcox at the plate with 1 out, Lowry over at first base. Now the 1-0 pitch, that's a called strike, and it's evened up at 1-1. 2-run lead for Army, but they have had difficulties in the late innings of their game. Saw it yesterday, had a 6-run lead. Entering the 9th, they gave up 3 runs, and Navy had the tying run at the plate with 2 outs before Hodge flied out. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss by Wilcox, and the count's 1-2. Their 2 wins against Bucknell last week gave up a bunch of late runs as there's the 1-2 pitch now, high and away, and it's 2-2. Last week, Army, their first win against Bucknell, led 11-3 entering the bottom of the 8th inning, gave up 1 run in the 8th and then 3 runs in the 9th, and then in the clincher, they held a 4-1 lead going into the 8th, gave up 2 runs in that inning, and the 3 runs in the 9th yesterday. So it's not been easy for Army closing out these games. Now the pitch, a little low, and now the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So this is what Wilcox has been able to do this season, get on base. He's been given the opportunity. We'll see here. He can get the tying run on base. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Liam Lowry at first base. And now the payoff pitch, swinging a grounder left side, will sneak through for a base hit. Just the 5th hit of the season for Wilcox. And Lowry heads over to second, and Michael Kuritz, who has been as hot as anybody in this series, will come to the plate, and we'll see if it's against Cart. Messina and Opp have been throwing for Army. Opp, top reliever on this Army team, and Jim Foster is going to come out to the mound, and it will be a pitching change. So Navy in business here in the 8th inning. They've got a couple of runners on base with 1 out. We have a pitching change. 5-3, Army leading Navy. Get to the details of the change after this. So the new pitcher into the ball game is the right-hander Sam Messina. Come on with runners at first and second and 1 out here in the 8th inning. Michael Kuritz, who's got a pair of multi-hit games in this series, comes to the plate with a tying run on base. And Kuritz, well, look at the first pitch from Messina, called strike, and the count's 0-1. Kuritz RBI single in the 6th inning that at that time gave Navy a 3-2 lead. Army has since scored 3 unanswered runs, but 2 straight batters have reached here with 1 out in the 8th inning. On the pitch to Karitsa, grounder to the shortstop. Martin softly hit, going to be tough to turn two as they go to second for one. Relay to first is in time. They do turn the 6-4-3 double play, and just like that, Army is out of the jam here in the 8th inning. Karitsa had been as hot as anybody, but he hits into the double play, and now Army is 3 outs away from the Patriot League Championship. Well, into the bottom half of the 8th inning, Army leads Navy 5-3. So Santi Grossi will come back out here for the bottom half of the 8th inning after getting the final 2 outs of the 7th inning. So some defensive changes. Christian Hodge is going to move behind the plate after Alex Smith was pinch hit for there in the top half of the inning, and Matthew Wilcox is going to stay in and play first base. And Navy had the opportunity there in the top of the 8th inning, but Karitz hits into the double play. And so Army now 3 outs away from the Patriot League Championship. As Drake Titus will lead things off here in the 8th and looks at a first pitch strike. The count's 0-1. So Titus, McKenna, Crompton here in the bottom half of the 8th inning for Army. Pitch inside, and it's evened up at 1-1. One delivery, called a strike, and it's 1-2. Titus 0 for 3. Both Army and Navy lost game 1 last week in the semifinals, so both were 1 game away from elimination. Both came back 1-2 straight to get themselves into the championship series as the count's evened up at 2-2. Then Army winning game 1 yesterday by the score of 8-5. They beat Noah Song. Top Navy starter who gave up 4 runs in 7 innings. Tyler Giovinco, 7 innings, 2 runs in that game as that one is popped up towards shallow right center field. It's Knowles who will call for it and make the catch, and Titus is retired. John McKenna will come to the plate. And this one a back and forth affair. Army led it 1-0 and 2-1. Navy held a 3-2 lead. And then Army scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rosoff game tying RBI single. Jaquin go ahead 2-run double. That's where we stand now. Army try to figure out how to piece together 3 outs at the top of the 9th inning. The first pitch here to McKenna is taken for a strike, and the count's 0-1. McKenna 2 for 3 in this game. Singled in the 3rd, singled and scored a run in the 5th, and grounded out to the shortstop his last time up in the 6th inning. The 0-1 pitch is hit in the air out towards left field. Lowry will come in and settle underneath it to make the catch. So 2 up and 2 down. Grossi is retired all 4 that he has faced so far in this game. And now Anthony Crompton will come to the plate. Now Jared Lines in line for the loss for Navy. He did struggle last week against Holy Cross, but threw an inning and 2/3 of scoreless ball this week. Not able to get it done against Army. His pitch fouled off. And it counts 0-1. That 7th inning started with the hit batter and a walk. So back-to-back batters that he put on base to begin the 7th inning, holding the 1-run lead. The hit batter scored. Hurtubise, who drew the walk, ended up getting thrown out at the plate on an attempted squeeze play, but still the base runners on, and Jaquin hit one into the right center field alley to give Army the lead. That's the difference right now in this game. So 2 straight days, Jaquin has had the go-ahead hit. Yesterday a home run, today a 2-run double. Pitch is a strike, and now it's 0-2. Grossi's 0-2 pitch. This is for a ball, and it's 1-2. Crompton It's the one that was hit by a pitch to start that 7th, scored the game tying run on Rosoff's RBI single, and Rosoff scored the go-ahead run. 1-2 pitch now, fouled it off, and it remains 1-2. Navy has 12 hits in this game, but just 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. This recently in the 8th inning when Kuritz hit into the inning-ending double play with first and second and just 1 out. Here's the 1-2 pitch now, fouled it off again, and it remains 1-2. Both starting pitchers lasted only 5 2/3 innings. Cam Hoot left in line for the win. Matt Ball left in line for the loss after 5 2/3 innings, 3 runs on 10 hits. But neither will factor into the decision today. Here's the 1-2 pitch now, again fouled it off. Grossi's 1-2 again, swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Grossi sets the side down in order here in the 8th. No runs, 6 errors, nobody left on base. We'll head to the 9th inning. Army 3 outs away from the Patriot League Championship as they lead it 5-3. Go to the 9th. 5-3, Army leading Navy. Ben Gordon Goldstein back with you. Sam Messina came on, got the inning-ending double play with runners at first and second and 1 out in the 8th inning, and now is on here in the 9th. They do have their top reliever, Cam Opp, still throwing out there, the left-hander, but for now it's going to be Messina against the top of the lineup here. Logan Knowles, the senior, in potentially his final at-bat in a Navy uniform, will start things off here in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch to him is up high for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Knowles 0 for 3 today. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 5th inning. Struck out his last time up. And now the 1-0 pitch, a little high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. 5-3, Army leading it, scoring the go-ahead runs in the 7th inning off the bat of Anthony Jaquin, as Army has to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2013. The 2-0 pitch outside, ball 3. And it has not been easy for Army to close out these games. Again, yesterday, 6-run lead entering the 9th inning. They gave up 3 runs. Navy had 2 more runners on base with Christian Hodge up as the game-tying run, and he flied out to center. Imagine Knowles is taking all the way here. Now the 3-0 pitch takes it, not close, ball 4, leadoff runner on base, and just like that, Navy's going to bring the tying run to the plate. And that's likely going to be it for Messina, with Cam Opp warming in the pen. Jim Foster has not officially made the signal yet to the bullpen. Do have the right-handed batter in Biggers coming up to the plate, and then another left-handed bat in Bourne. So it's possible that even after the walk by Messina to Knowles to begin this inning, they give Messina 1 more batter here to face Biggers, and then you got 2 of the next 3 batters would be lefties to face the left-handed pitcher in Opp. So you have Bourne, left-handed bat, Hodge, a righty, and then Lowry, another left-handed bat. So I think that Messina may get another crack here at Zach Biggers. The entire infield joining the conference, and exactly what's going to happen. So they're going to stick with the righty-righty matchup. Zach Biggers does have 3 hits in this game. So Messina got the inning-ending double play in the 8th inning. Now comes out here in the 9th inning and 4 pitches, none all that close. Walks Knowles. And the leadoff batter is aboard. Here's Biggers, 3 for 4. Singled in the first, doubled in the fifth. Infield single in the seventh. First pitch up high, and Messina has thrown 5 straight out of the zone to begin things here in the ninth. Think that Biggers is going to take another one and take until he throws a strike. One-0 pitch does take a strike, and it's evened up at 1-1. For Messina, 36 innings of work this year, 40 strikeouts. He did walk 20, so somewhat high walk numbers. He also hit 8 batters with pitches and threw 7 wild pitches. Now the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Played on a fastball, and so Messina comes back 2 straight strikes after 5 straight balls to begin the inning, and he has Biggers in the hole, 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch, close, misses outside, and it's evened up at 2-2. Biggers, the sophomore, senior born, who's had a number of big hits throughout his career, waits on deck. Christian Hodge, who hasn't done a ton in this series, but is the biggest home run threat in the Navy lineup. 2-2 pitch, swung on and hit in the air out towards left field. Crompton coming on, and he's there to make the catch. The outfield for Army was extremely deep in no doubles defense, just a couple feet shy of the warning track. And so Crompton actually had to come in to make that catch. And after retiring Biggers, looks like Messina will not get a chance to face Bourne. So they're going to go to the bullpen here, expected they would in a lefty-lefty matchup. Foster out to the mound. Messina is done. He will leave with the runner aboard. Army 2 outs away from the Patriot League Championship. And we have a pitching change. 5-3, they lead it with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Cam Opp comes into the ballgame, try to get the final 2 outs for Army. He'll have to go through the 3-4 batters in the Navy lineup. Stephen Bourne, the senior, will be the first one to face him. As Opp pitches for the second straight day. Yesterday, they're an inning and 2/3, and defense didn't help him out very much. They made a couple errors behind him. He ended up getting charged with 3 unearned runs. Now his first pitch catches the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Bourne 1 for 4 today, an infield single in the 3rd, knocked in a run in the 5th inning, and senior trying to keep it going here for Navy in the 9th inning as he fouls that one off and now is behind in the count 0-2. Bourne had the big hit last week in Game 2. Navy in a tie game in the 10th inning, bases loaded. He had a bases clearing triple. Give him the lead. 0-2 pitch, down and away, and now it's 1-2. A couple of years ago, the walk-off home run for him in the 2016 Patriot League Championship Series Game 1 to give Navy the win in that one. So had a walk-off against Ryder earlier this year. So throughout his 4-year career, he's had some big hits. I'm trying to get on base here for Navy in the 9th inning as they trail it by 2 runs. Pitch outside, and it's 2-2. Up second team All-Patriot League reliever for Army this year. Army is 2 outs away from the Patriot League Championship. Here's the 2-2 pitch now. Called third strike over the outside corner. Bourne didn't like the calls on the first pitch or that one, but he is rung up, and now Army is 1 out away from their first championship since 2013. Army's won the Patriot League Championship 7 times since the league was formed in 1991. Most recently back-to-back in 12 and 13. And now they're 1 out away from doing it again here in 2018. Here's Christian Hodge. First pitch to him, fouled back. Quick strike, and it's 0-1. Hodge just 1 for 7 in the series, 0 for 3 today. He came up as the tying run in the 9th inning yesterday with 2 runners on base. Flied out to center, and once again, can't play any deeper than Army is in the outfield, and the pitch bounces up there, and it's evened up at 1-1. Hodge has hit 5 home runs this year. 3 of them came against Army. And now here's the 1-1 pitch. This is outside for a ball, and the count's 2 balls and 1 strike. He was ahead in the count yesterday in the 9th inning, 3-1, before he ended up flying out to center field. Now ahead in the count here, 2 balls and 1 strike. He does represent the game-tying run. Ops 2-1 pitch, swung and popped him up. Right side, foul territory. Jakeen going over in foul ground, puts it away, and Army is the Patriot League champions in 2018. They mob their pitcher on the mound, the dog pile there just in front of the mound, and Army has come into Annapolis. One game, 8-5, and the back of a 3-run bottom half of the 7th inning, Army comes from behind to beat Navy here in Game 2, and for the first time since 2013, Army is headed to the NCAA tournament. So the 4th straight year for Navy that they're the number 1 seed, and it'll be back-to-back years in which their season ends in defeat. They went to the NCAA tournament in 2016, but now Army hoists the trophy just in front of the mound as they are the champions of the Patriot League here in 2018. So a lot more to come here from Annapolis. We'll have the alma maters for you, championship trophy presentation, and much more, along with the stats and a full recap of this one. But Army is your 2018 Patriot League champions. So the alma maters for both sides played, and Army continues to celebrate after winning the 2018 Patriot League Championship. They sweep Navy here in the finals in Annapolis, setting up for the trophy presentation to announce the all-league teams as well. And get you the scoring recap in this game before any of that. After Army won 8-5, Navy on the brink of elimination here in this game, and Army came out early and scored a run in the bottom half of the 1st inning as Josh White came to the plate with Jacob Hurtubise on base. Hurtubise had led off the inning with a single and then stole second, went to third on a ground out by Rosoff, and then Josh White with the RBI single to score Hurtubise and make it a 1-0 lead. Both pitchers really threw well early on in this one. After that, first 4 innings, shutout innings from Matt Ball on the Army side, and after the run in the 1st inning, Sean Camhoop threw 3 straight scoreless innings. He was aided by the defense in the 3rd inning as John Rosoff hit a ball up the middle with a runner at 3rd and 2 outs, and Zach Biggers made an incredible diving play. Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year dove for a ball and from his knees threw off balance to first and was able to get Rosoff for the final out in the inning, and so it remained a 1-0 game. Navy would tie it up in the 5th inning. Logan Knowles was hit by a pitch, then Zach Biggers doubled 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Stephen Bourne, the RBI ground out to make it a 1-1 game. Army would answer right back, though, in the bottom half of the inning. John Rosoff with 2 outs and a runner at 3rd hit a 2-out RBI single to tie up the ball game and make it, or rather to give Army the lead back and make it a 2-1 game. Navy again would answer in the top half of the 6th inning with 2 outs after Matt Ball had retired back-to-back batters to start the inning. Liam Lowry hit a solo home run to tie up the ball game. Then Alex Smith doubled, and Michael Koritz gave Navy their first lead of the game with an RBI single to make it 3-2. It remained that way until the 7th inning when Army would have their first 2 batters of the inning reach on a hit by pitch and a walk. Then John Rosoff once again came through with an RBI single who tie up the ball game, and then Anthony Jaquin, 2-run double 2 batters later to give Army a 5-3 lead, and the game would end that way as Army was able to throw a couple of scoreless innings in a row after that, and they win 5-3 to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2013. So the all-tournament team being announced now, and the Army players on the field just announced Anthony Jaquin, the tournament MVP after a tremendous 2-game series here. He hit the go-ahead home run yesterday to give Army the lead in that game, and they would end up going on to win 8-5 as he went 3 for 4 yesterday with 3 runs batted in. Now today, he ends up with the go-ahead 2-run double in the 7th inning. So 5 runs batted in for Jaquin in the 2 games. So the freshman continues to collect awards. Patriot League Rookie of the Year, now tournament MVP here in his freshman season. He's joined by Josh White, who had another RBI in this game after a 2 RBI game yesterday. 4 hits total for him, and John Rosoff, Patriot League Player of the Year, had 2 runs batted in, a couple of big hits for him, go-ahead RBI in the 5th inning, and then the game-tying RBI in the 7th inning. So Rosoff joins them and Giovinco, who got the win yesterday on the all-tournament team from Army. For Navy, Stephen Bourne on the all-tournament team. Michael Kuritz, who had a really good series. He ended up with 5 hits in 8 at-bats, knocked in a couple of runs. And Sean Kamhoot for his performance last week, 8 1/3 shutout innings. He's also on the tournament teams, and they're joined by Connor Van Hoos, Patriot League Pitcher of the Year, through another amazing game last week to get the lone win for Bucknell against Army. Chucky Scales, Declan Cronin, and Pat McGowan all on the all-tournament team. And again, it's Anthony Jaquin who is the tournament MVP, and Army continues to celebrate the 2018 Patriot League Championship. The shirts are out, the hats there as well, and Army is headed to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2013 as the Patriot League champions here in 2018. So they'll take their picture on the mound and continue to celebrate, but that'll just about wrap things up for us here from Annapolis. Again, Army, the 8-5 victory yesterday. It was a struggle for them to close it out as they had a 6-run lead entering the bottom of the 9th, gave up 3 runs. Navy brought the tying run to the plate, but they would end up winning that game 8-5. And then here today, the 5-3 victory. Navy did bring the tying run to the plate once again in the 9th inning, but they were not able to push him across, and it's Army who sweeps the Patriot League Championship Series and wins this one by the final score of 5-3. That'll wrap things up for us here from Max Bishop Stadium in Annapolis. For our entire Patriot League Network crew here in attendance and the entire season long, I'm Ben Gordon Goldstein. Army is your 2018 Patriot League champions.